Today, I'm going to be doing something just a little bit different. I'm going to tell you my tips on how you can win at slot machines. And that starts right now on the Gadget Guru. I just arrived at the Seminole Hard Rock in Tampa, Florida. I'm in the high limit room, and hey, they move machines around. They do that often. Usually I start with Huff and more Puff, but they move that to another area. And I noticed they added dancing drums here. I have very little experience with this. I think I played this once a long time ago, so we're going to try it. Now, I'm going to get to the tips in just a moment. Now, this machine, again, this always confuses me. It's a 25-cent denomination, and you choose your bets down on the bottom. I'm going to go 68 credits, and I think that's around $17 or $18. I need to ask ChatGPT how that works. So dancing drums. Okay, so let me tell you about tips about slot machines. And a lot of it just has to do with common sense. And the first one is, when I'm coming up to a machine, I try to have at least 100 times the spin amount to give myself the chance to get into a bonus round. It takes a while. It's not like, wouldn't it be nice if every time you sat down, if the first time that you started spinning, that you got a bonus? Well, I give myself a bankroll. Before I even come into the casino, my responsible gambling starts before I leave the home. I only leave the house with money that I can afford to lose. I look at this as entertainment. I say, okay, if I'm going to be here for 2 or 3 days, I pick a number of how much I'm willing to lose, each day. And in that way, I've set aside something where I can do a little bit of slot playing each and every day. It'd be nice if, every time we were winners and the whole bit. You know how this works. Sometimes we're lucky enough to get a bonus. The other thing I do, and this is up to you, a lot of people have given me criticism about this. I said that, when look at this. I only leave the house with money that I can afford to lose. Well, when I get to the casino, I try not to get caught up in the moment. And I don't sign my name in a casino. The exception is if I get a W2G bonus, I'll sign my name for that. But what I do, I don't use ATMs. I don't use credit lines. I just gamble with my own money. I don't want to get home and find out that I'm in debt or get a big credit card bill to say, oh no, what did I do? I try to do that. Now, there's a bunch more tips, and I tell you what I did. Before I got here, I went to ChatGPT, and it gave me a bunch of good tips. Now, since it's kind of hard to put that recorded material into the middle of a video, because then that way we'd have to stop if we get a bonus. It's just kind of confusing. I'm going to put that conversation at the end of this video. Let me tell you something. It's pretty good. Now, let's focus on dancing drums. Here, where the mini is at 259, the minor is at 67, major's at 25,000, that grand's at 345,000. I'm doing 68 credits at 25 cents per spin. You can see right now I have 1,223 in there. You notice that's 1,206. Okay, look at this. Okay, see, it's just confused me. Okay, that's 600 quarters, so divide that by 4. So I guess the best thing you do is look over at your cash amount on the lower left. I know that we want to get those kind of dragon dogs in there. We want this pot to close to get into a bonus. Now, this is considered to be one of the lower volatility machines. I talk about Huff and Puff, or you've seen me play Buffalo, Dragon Link. Those games are considered high volatility. This falls in the moderate volatility category, along with quick hits, which, by the way, has become one of my favorite games. That's just fun to play. Yes, we learned by that one. Those perceived progressions really don't mean a whole lot. And I don't know if that means anything on this pot here either. But anyway. Okay, so 60. Let's do some math here. Betting approximately $17 per spin. Again, I like this. They don't have real numbers here. Okay, so far we're not seeing anything here. But now you see why I tell you to try to give yourself a budget of at least, 100 spins. Now we know that we need those drums right there in the second column there. I think we need 3 of those in columns 1, 2, and 3. I think I should have gone and looked at the rules, but I didn't. I figured, okay, let's just play it. It'll tell us if we win. I think it is more fun if you know what you're looking for. I know that those, the symbols, they are a little confusing to me because I'm not aware of it. I know that you want to get them to match. Those green ones are pretty good. I think the bonus symbols are 3 of these. Not positive, but we'll find out. Let's hope we get into a bonus. Oh, and I want to one of the tips, I think, oh, look, that pot closed. We're in a bonus. Okay. Okay, now I wonder if this is predetermined or not. Let's hit them. Okay, see, now that right there is the mini. That's probably what we're going to end up with. That right there is a major. Wouldn't that be nice at 25,000? That's a minor at 662. That is another mini. Let's go up here to the far corner here. Which one is that one? That one is the minor. That would be nice. Okay, surprise! We got the mini. Okay, so that was that. So we're a few $100 down. Now I forgot what I was saying. I was interrupted by the bonus. Hopefully I'll think of it in a minute if it was important. Anyway, so dancing drums. Oh, when I play back the video, when I'm editing it, I'll say, why did I stop? That was a pretty good thought. Anyway, let's get back to the game here. Wouldn't it be interesting if I was about to make a profound statement? I had a good conversation on the drive over here. I was asking ChatGPT a bunch of questions. Here we go again. Okay, we're going to do better. Let's try that same one here. That is a minor. That is a mini. That is a major. We like the majors. You have a sister over there? That is a minor at 663. We have one. Okay, now that's a mini there. That's a mini there. No mini. Okay, what do we have here? That is a major. Oh, let's do that. You have a sister? Okay, no, what did we get this time? We got a mini. Well, bonus frequency is good. I think we're a little bit ahead right now, or even, I'm trying to remember exactly what I started with. As I can tell, a little bit spacey today. It's one of those rainy days. Florida. Okay, come on, dancing drums. Nope, I think we need 3 of those. But anyway, gamble responsibly, gamble with your... Oh, I tell you what it was. I think the most important thing is don't get caught up in the moment. If you're ahead, let's say you pick a number. And this one I started with about where I am now, about 1,700. If I lose this, before I sit down, I say, okay, how much am I going to feed the kitty on this? You have to know when to walk away. If you're winning, that's the hardest part. Machines, and some people say, oh, it's a hot machine, keep going. Me, I'll do about 5 extra spins just to see if I get a big bonus or a hand pay or something, just to see if there happens to be another bonus in there. But don't be afraid to walk away with a win. Oh, that's, I know in the Vegas Matt videos, they call it the high water mark. It's hard to predict when you're there, but if you see it, that it comes up with a number that's, let's say, 10 or 20% higher than what you started with, hey, have some discipline. Walk away. Go take a break. Go get a slice of pizza. Okay. Oh, the other thing I don't do. I don't drink while I'm gambling. Now, as I've gotten older, I drink less and less and less. In fact, it's very seldom for me at this stage. But I found out that I make better decisions when I'm not drinking. The whole purpose of coming to casino is have some fun and give yourself a chance to win. Okay, so we've had that pot closing twice for 2 minis. It's kept us in the game. And this is considered, as I said before, a moderate volatility. It's not a low volatility, it's a moderate volatility machine. So I guess evidenced by those 2 minis that came, that it shows it has a fairly good bonus frequency. But usually, like when you get a high volatility machine, oh, what do we have here? Nope, those are wilds there. No, we needed 3 of those. Huff and more puff, or in the huff seeds, those are high volatility. You might not have a good bonus frequency, but when you hit a bonus, there is a pretty good chance it's going to be a good one. Now on this, again, we'll see how the bonus is. We're 25-cent denomination, 68 credits, approximately $17 per spin. So wouldn't it be great if we had 100 times bonus, which would be $1,700, which would double my initial bet. Okay, come on, let's get into a good bonus here. Let's get the one where it goes at double screen and, the dancing drums bonus. Okay, that's 2. We need 3 of those drums. I'm wondering when they do things like this, and again, the 25-cent denom, I prefer betting using either the 10-cent denom or the $1. Just gets it's easier to understand. You got a lot going on, especially with my cameras and microphones. You just have a lot going on over here. Anyway, at the end of the video, I'll pop in, I think it was 7 points that ChatGPT gave on how to have your best success with the game. And it was common sense. It was stuff that we already know, but sometimes we just have to be reminded by an independent third party. By the way, it's a Monday. This is the first month. Again, when you see this, it's probably been a few weeks since, when it's posted. It's probably been a few weeks since I just put this up here. This is the first Monday night football night of the season, so it's probably going to be a little bit crowded and loud later this evening. Right now, when I came in, it wasn't too crowded. It's back to school. People are back to normal schedules. The summer is over. And to me, it's a nice time. I don't do late nights in the casino. I just, I try to keep things moderate. I'm not a young guy. Don't let my good looks fool you. Speaking of that, did you notice I have new glasses? See, these are magic glasses. When I got them from the glasses store at the mall in Orlando, she said, these are magic. When I walk by a slot machine, it will tell me if it's a winner. Now, it didn't tell me if this one was a winner. I just wanted to play it. So I just did to walk around the casino until little lights go off in the glasses and say, okay, this is going to be a winning slot machine. But they just say all win. Are we going to be sitting here when it decides to pay off? I really do want to see that dancing drums bonus. But, we talk about discipline. The money I started with on here, I'm not going to feed the kitty again. We're just going to try to go, one ticket on this. I don't want to get caught up in there trying to chase a bonus. And that's another good piece of information. And it's hard to do. Like, if you've been playing a while like we have, and all we've had are just those pot bonuses that gave us the 2 minis. It's hard not to chase bonuses, but that really isn't a good practice, if you try to chase them, because then you keep saying, hey, we've done 100 spins, we haven't had a big bonus yet, or a major bonus like on this one, the dancing drum. Surely it's going to come. Let's put in another $1,000. Well, that's how you get in trouble, because, these are all random number generators. We don't know when they're going to hit. It is predetermined from the moment I hit that button. Okay. Oh, we had a double gong there. By the way, I'm back trying a new recorder here, trying to enhance that stereo feel. Not stereo feel, trying to get real stereo. This is the Zoom H5 Studio. I just got this about a week ago and just started playing with it. And it looks like this is a pretty good machine. It's only been out for just a couple months or so. You know, Zoom makes good audio products. They really do. I've been very happy with them in the past. You know, I tried a Tascam unit, just wasn't real thrilled with that. Had some problems. And it's funny, you get all these influencers, and that's another topic that I want to hit, not in this video, another. Talk about influencers and what's going on in the world with them and product reviews, because that's something I have some experience in. And, you know, some of these really good, polished video reviews, you know, on that Tascam unit. I forget what the model number was. You know, it's a great design, has great display, it does have pretty good quality, but there were some problems with the metadata that they put in the files when I would take the files, and I would have it where my different channels were recorded, you know, one on each track. Like, for example, here, one track for the machine, one track for me. I'm also using a third track for the stereo of the machine. That when I would go to put it in Final Cut, it would take the track 1 and track 2, and it wouldn't let you use both of them. So if I put track 1 on the timeline, then track 2 would adopt that name, and it wouldn't let you, it was just confusing. So after watching all the reviews, nobody pointed this out. I contacted Tascam, and to their credit, they got back to me very quickly. I sent them some examples of what was going on. They checked with their tech people. They said, you know, we have never heard of this. They tried the same thing, and they had the same result I did. And it's a firmware issue. Hopefully they'll have it fixed. But here's what got me. These reviewers, what do? Just take them out of the box and plug it in and put in some headphones, say it sounds great. Don't they take those files and put them into an editing program to see how it actually works? So while there was a lot to like about that Tascam recorder, I got to tell you that one thing that threw me off, and I went back to Zoom products then. And I haven't had any hiccups, no problem. And recording in 32-bit float is great. In fact, let me check something over here. Yeah. I'm going to move my volume level up on the machine mic. That was a little low. Yeah. I just bumped the camera. I was just saying about 32-bit float. What's good about that? I don't have to worry about monitoring my audio levels. I can have it in the headphone just to make sure that I can hear something. Okay. Nope, that was one dancing drum. Whoa, okay, oh, we got dancing drums right here. That's our wild for dancing drums. At least I think it is. We're about to find out. Okay, now let me see. Now, mystery pick. You know, when I watch others, that's what they do. But is that the smart play? I think the smart play is going to be 10 games at 4x5. Let's try that. I don't know. I hope I'm right. Oh, we need that dancing drum on the first reel. Okay. Okay, this is an auto spin. Okay, good. We got 3 extra games. So far we're doing good. Game-wise, that is, we're on game 4 of 13. Oh, okay. We got 3 more games. I guess I should have gotten a bigger screen, but who would have known that would have happened? I'd like to tell you how much that is. That's 965 or 1,300 divided by 4. Oops. I tried to hit it. That was me doing an accidental fast spin. Okay, come on. Okay. Oh, we got more bonus spins. And I'm trying to figure out. Okay, we're at 2,200 divided by 4. 2,600. Well, that's about 750, I think. We'll find out when it's over. Right now, let's just enjoy this. Come on, let's get more bonus spins. Let's get some great symbols. Let's get those dragon dogs. Okay, I'm waiting for it. Okay, 27.75. Again, 25-cent denomination, so those are quarters. Okay, spend 16 of 19. Time to get some more bonus spins. Oh, we got some wilds there. At least I think they are. I should have watched the instructions. Probably been more fun. Again, I'm waiting on a machine. It's still flashing here. Okay. Okay. 19 of 19. Let's get something good. Okay, 3,800. I wonder what that comes out in dollars. We're about to find out. And that won't go to dollars. Okay, we're now at $1,315. Let's take this down to 1,000. That'll be our floor. And by the way, it doesn't mean that we're a winner. It just means I'm going to limit my losses here. You know, I really do like when it has dollar symbols on here. You know, trying to do the math while you're trying to do everything else that's involved in pushing buttons and recording slot videos and trying to say something somewhat intelligent, which I don't really feel like I'm doing today. But I will get to, in one of the next two videos, I want to give you my opinion about what's going on with product reviews and influencers and all that. And again, it'll be my opinion, and I'm going to welcome to hear, and I will welcome your opinion. Oh, that was easy for me to say. Okay. Okay, we're at 1182. Will I stick to my 1,000? I hope so. Okay, I think that pot's about to close. Let's see. Nope. Or 1156, just keeping an eye on that 1,000. You know, we hadn't had like a huge line pay. Again, not betting big dollars. Okay, just a few more spins left. Come on, getting in the game, dancing drums. Okay, I think this is the last spin. I was hoping that was going to close. Okay, so that's dancing drums. I might come back to this later. I'm just starting to understand this machine. You probably know more about it than I do, so any tips you might have, you know, would be wonderful on here. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go on and go to that ChatGPT conversation on tips of what you can do to have a really good slot machine experience.
So let's jump right in. All right, friends, let's be real. If you're going to place limits, you want to have a good time and not stress out, right? So tip 1, set your budget. That means a little bankroll management before you even sit down. Decide how much you're comfortable spending and stick to it. Now, tip 2, understand the game you're playing. Just have a basic idea of how it works so you're not caught off guard. Tip 3, watch the clock. It's easy to lose track of time, so just be mindful of how long you're playing. Tip 4, definitely use that player's card for any bonuses or rewards you can get. Tip 5, don't chase your losses. If it's not your day, that's totally okay. Tip 6, if you do get ahead, cash out some of those winnings and enjoy them. And finally, tip 7, just keep that mindset you're here to have fun. It's all about entertainment, and those are the secrets to having a pleasant experience.
Okay, questions, comments, and opinions are welcome. That's it for now. I'm the Gadget Guru, Andy Parr. Thank you for watching.